today's Bendy and the Ink Machine video, we take a look at a particular sequence in Bendy Chapter 4 that has raised several questions for its fans. Did Bendy see Henry in this scene, and was it his intention to save him from the projectionist? Today we explore these questions while also analysing the character of Bendy himself, his motives, and his possible connection to Henry. So sit back, relax, and let's do this. But before we jump into this video, remember to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified every time a new video drops. Let's begin by taking a look at the sequence in question, as Henry is chased into a little miracle station by Norman Polk's crazed projectionist. At a first glance, it certainly seems like Bendy is rushing to Henry's aid. He shows up just in time to stop Norman, as well as even acknowledging Henry's presence afterwards. We saw this acknowledgement earlier in the chapter 2, as Bendy stares down Henry while he crawls through a ventilation shaft. More on this later. However, there is, I believe, a lot more to this series of events than first meets the eye. So let's start our investigation with an analysis of Demon Bendy and his behaviour and interaction with Henry up to this point in the game. Bendy seems to be a character born out of a demonic ritual involving pentagrams, copious amounts of that mysterious ink, people's possessions, and of course the mighty ink machine itself. He is literally a creation born seemingly out of Joey Drew's greed at the studio. This already paints this version of Bendy as a somewhat malicious being. Remember, one of the first things Bendy does is try to reach out and grab Henry when he approaches the door to the machine room. In Chapter 2, we hear Bendy attack and potentially take down Sammy Lawrence during the summoning scene.
Hear me, Bendy. Arise from the darkness. Arise and claim my offering. Free me, I beg you. No, my lord, stay back. I am your prophet. I am your God.
Again, a note, Bendy is summoned by a dark ritual and then attacks on sight. This holds up a little later when Henry is chased down by Bendy, only narrowly escaping with his life. Moving into Chapter 3, we have some key information about the Bendy character, and this info comes from Alice Angel, who states,
"It could have touched me. It could have pulled me back. Do you know what it's like? Living in the dark puddles? I will not let the demon touch me again."
We have seen what happens to someone when they are consumed by the demonic creatures of the studio. They enter a dark, screaming well of voices. Luckily for Henry, he can escape this and is able to revive through these Bendy statues. So it seems as though Bendy consumes pretty much anything in his path, and he does not discriminate. We can see here he even takes out other enemies, such as these Butcher Gang members. It seems as though Ink Bendy consumes all who stand in his way, and perhaps with each being he takes down, Bendy is able to grow stronger and more powerful than ever before. In this way, I would liken him to No-Face in the Studio Ghibli film Spirited Away, a character who consumes everything out of pure greed. Another interesting point Alice makes in Chapter 3 is that Bendy has very acute hearing.
Have you met him? The ink demon. They say he hears everything. Every creak of the floor. Every rustle of paper.
If we look at Bendy's face, we can see he doesn't really appear to have any eyes, at least none that are visible. So like many predators in nature, it is possible that Bendy uses sound to tell where his prey is, rather than relying on sight. After all, he doesn't always notice Henry until he gets within a fairly close proximity. If this theory is correct, then during this scene in chapter 4, Bendy would have been responding to the loud noises being made, rather than what he was seeing before him. Likely tracking down the projectionist's heat signature, but not noticing Henry in the miracle station. However, perhaps this theory isn't true, and Bendy can see just fine, which means we now need to explore the possibility that Bendy did see Henry, but did not attack him. For this, I would like to turn our attention towards another theory altogether, one I've had for a very long time now, and one with a great deal of evidence to support it. The notion that Demon Bendy is in fact studio owner and Henry's old work partner, Joey Drew. I won't go too in depth as to why Joey Drew may be Bendy, as I have an entire theory dedicated to that already, and plan on making a new Joey Drew video sometime soon. But to summarize, it seems as though Henry created the original version of Bendy when working with Joey at the studio 30 years ago.
On the plus side, I've got a new character I think people are gonna love.
We see evidence of a rejected Bendy design at Henry's old workstation.
Hey, here's my old desk. I wasted so much time in this chair.
It seems, however, that Henry's design was then changed at Joey's request to the one we all now know and love. A design that looks far more manic and crazed than Henry's cute original concept, and also one that mirrors Demon Bendy's look very closely. We can also see that Bendy appears to have a limp, and many, including myself, have theorized Joey Drew likely had problems walking, hence the importance of the wheelchair in this flashback at the end of chapter 1. Also, one of Bendy's hands is far larger than the other, which is symbolic for Joey's craft as an artist and controlling personality. And talking of personality, we see in Bendy chapter 4 through a new audio recording that Joey Drew wasn't such a swell guy, selling people on fake dreams in order to get what he desired.
You just have to believe in yourself and remain honest, motivated, and above all, who you really are. Okay, let's stop right there. I can only do so many takes in this trashing day. And tell the guys you're writing, I want more use of the word dreaming in every message. Keep railing on that, okay? Dreaming, dreaming, dreaming. People just eat up that kind of slop.
So, if Joey Drew is Bendy, then it explains his ravenous and predatory ways. Joey is an embodiment of all that is wrong with humanity. Greed, manipulation, a lack of sympathy, and power mad with a huge ego. This is then fed through the ink machine to create a true embodiment of evil via the creation of Demon Bendy, and goes a long way to explain why he isn't looking to help anyone and does indeed wish to consume everyone. But maybe Joey does have a glimmer of humanity still left inside him, and while I doubt he was trying to save Henry, perhaps the reason he didn't attack him, both in the vents or during the projectionist scene, was because when looking into Henry's eyes, for a moment he saw an old friend, someone who knew him in his better days, before he grew so corrupt and wicked. Finally, we must also consider the last factor. Henry is hiding in a little miracle station. These stations seem to have some kind of magical property, hence their name. You see, when entering them, Henry is essentially invincible. enemies are unable to attack him and generally lose interest pretty quickly. This may because they are blessed with some kind of angelic seal, a seal which protects anyone hiding inside from the evil around them. Although safety is not guaranteed, as the poor sap hiding in this station found in Chapter 3 discovered to his cost. Let's wrap up this video with some final thoughts to bring this theory all together. It is worth noting that Bendy has made a pretty large kill here with the projectionist, and as with all big predators in the animal kingdom, such as lions and tigers, Bendy may have grown weaker after taking down the projectionist and not had the strength or desire to move on to his second course with Henry, instead choosing to drag his prey into the wall, where I presume he will feed deep within his inky lair, regaining his strength to get back on Henry's trail in the final chapter of the game. I believe Bendy most likely did instead choosing to drag his prey into the wall, where I presume he will feed deep within his inky lair, regaining his strength to get back on Henry's trail in the final chapter of the game. I believe Bendy most likely did not save Henry then, but rather was acting on his natural instinct to consume and attack everything in his path. Therefore, upon noticing Henry, it was Joey's humanity, or perhaps exhaustion after his battle with Norman, that kept Bendy from going after him. Henry got lucky, but probably won't have such good fortune going forward into Chapter 5. And that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it, and I hope you are happy with my theory on this. Had a lot of you guys asking for me to cover this particular Bendy theory, so I've done that now. If you did enjoy the video, guys, as always, remember to give this video a like, leave me a little comment down below, let me know what you think, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more horror-related content, including Bendy and the Ink Machine videos, and I will see you on the next one.